Welcome back, everybody, to the 12 days of MyLeague. This is day number 6 of the series. So after this episode, we are already halfway done, which is crazy because not even a week ago we started. And not even in a week, we're going to end it, technically. Anyway, here's a look of a team headed into season number 5 now. We made a few big additions last offseason, replacing guys like Victor Oladipo and adding Malcolm Brogdon, along with LeBron James Jr., with the number 1 overall pick. That's the trade we used Oladipo in, and another high pick. So we're going to make Bronny James a big role on the team early on. And then Brogdon will also have a big role as well, obviously, because those two are very solid. So here's the rotation we're going to be going with. Clark moves to the 2. Bronny takes the 3. And other than that, the same starters as last year. And then the bench is Brogdon, Bol, Marcia, Brian Antoine, and Anton Watson. So here's a look at our draft picks. We have two first rounders this year, one from the Clippers, one from the Warriors. I thought that said Chill and Warriors. I didn't realize it said Clippers, so we only took a look at this Warriors team, and they're solid. Still got Steph, who is a 97, and already we lose to them in the opening game of the season. Nice. So here's a look at the standings. We are the best team in the Western Conference so far at the New Year's mark, 28-6. Of course, Golden State is second at 23-7. However, the Clippers aren't doing too hot. 10-23. Probably one of the 5 worst records in the NBA. So we're going to find ourselves with another high draft pick, which is very, very cool. And here's a look at the Eastern Conference. The Pistons are still dead last. They've been dead last for about 3 or 4 years. And as a Pistons fan, I can't say I'm all that surprised. So we have a big offseason incoming because James Wiseman is a free agent. LaMelo is a free agent, Bol's a free agent, and then Kawhi has a player option. So we could lose all 4 of them theoretically. Now, LaMelo and Wiseman are both restricted, so we wouldn't lose them. But what about Bol? And he is a medical train wreck. This season, he's only played about 5 games. That's why his numbers are kind of low, so I would take this year's stuff as a grain of salt. But he can't consistently stay healthy. His rookie year cannot stay healthy. The past 2 years, he has, but I'd like it to be a little bit more consistent. It feels like his health is sort of erratic. So here's a look at the All-Stars. James Wiseman is starting for Team Giannis, and Kawhi Leonard is coming off the bench for Team Luka. So both of them are back in the All-Star game. Giannis and Luka is the team captains. That could happen in real life in the near future. Who knows? Maybe this year. I don't know. So here we are now towards the middle of February. Remember, we did take the trade deadline out, but I do want to take a look at Bol. His numbers have increased since he got back, which is good. And he's not playing badly. So, I mean, maybe you want to hold on to him, but he wants a max contract. I'm not willing to pay it. So here we are. We have officially agreed to a Bol trade, which means everybody who we drafted in the original expansion draft is now gone, which is crazy because that was only 5 seasons ago. So Bol is, along with Frank Kepnang, who we drafted in the second round a couple years ago, is headed to the Bucks in exchange for Sekou Doumbouya, the talented French forward who currently in real life plays for my Pistons. He hasn't gotten too much PT, which isn't really a bad thing necessarily because I just want him to develop in the G League personally. And then Devon Akun-Purcell is also in the deal. So the reason why we're doing this is Bol and Kepnang are both free agents. And with Sekou Doumbouya, we have an extra year of team control. So after this season, he'll still be on the roster, and I want to make sure I can hold on to him. Plus, we already have multiple big men coming off the bench in Anton Watson and Marcia. So having a wing in Sekou Doumbouya, I think, is very good for our team. And I think he fits what we need more than Bol does. And I think this should help the squad out. But the Bucks might be scary. If we encounter them in the finals, I mean, Giannis and Bol on the same team, that's frightening. So here's now a look at the lineup for the rest of the season. Same starters, that's not changing. But now Sekou Doumbouya has a bigger role off the bench. He'll basically replace Bol's role. So at the end of the season, James Wiseman wins MVP, putting up 28 and 16. How about that? Michael Williams wins Rookie of the Year. Sixth man goes to Denny Avdija. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Giannis. Most Improved goes to Isaiah Jackson. And our head coach, Jacob Underwood, wins Coach of the Year. So looking at the All-NBA teams, we got James Wiseman, obviously, on the first team. I mean, he won MVP. And he's feeling one of our players on an All-NBA team. And then looking up at all defensive teams, Kawhi is on the second team, joined by his former Chill teammate, Victor Oladipo. And then Bronny James is on the All-Rookie first team. It looked like he was second in Rookie of the Year behind Mikey Williams. So here's a look at the stats, and remember, the points are inflated now that we're only using a 20-second shot clock. So James Wiseman, he won the MVP. He was great. Not much to say about that. LaMelo did his thing, 22 and 12 on quite efficient shooting. Kawhi offensively went a little bit down, but he still did his thing defensively. Clark was good. Dumbayel was good. LeBron, 9.4 assists per game. And let's take a look at Malcolm Brogdon. Look at these efficiency numbers. Almost 58% from the field, 53% from three, 96% from the line. What kind of cheat code magic is this? Malcolm Brogdon is insane. And then Sia, Antoine, and Watson all did pretty well too. So in the first round of the playoffs, we have the 8-seeded San Antonio Spurs. They're not bad. I mean, I wouldn't call them good or anything, but I think we can certainly beat these guys. Paul George, DeJounte Murray, Goga Bitadze. There are some decent players on the squad, but I think we can take these boys. I would say probably in about 5 games is reasonable. So we win game 1, but we lose game 2. That's not a good sign. Then we lose game 3. Kawhi gets hurt. Seems like it's not looking too sharp. And we're going to have to head to a game 7, but we do win. Last season, we lost to the 8-seeded Warriors in the first round. I think it was Golden State who we lost to. We're not letting that same fate happen to us again. So now we got the Utah Jazz. This team is kind of nice. Cole Anthony, Anthony Edwards, and Donovan Mitchell is their main core. And we beat them in 5. So now we got the Phoenix Suns. Kemba Walker, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Precious Achiuwa, Derrick Rose. This team is no joke. But we can beat them, maybe. And sure enough, we sweep them. So look who we're playing in the finals. The Milwaukee Bucks, led by Giannis. And they have Bol coming off the bench. And look at these numbers. His points per game have skyrocketed since we traded him. Went up from 14 to 21. He's averaging 26 in the postseason. Frank Kepnang is getting playing time too. So Bol has turned into an absolute machine since we traded him. So it's tied up at 2-2. Now 3-2. I want to go into Simcast in case we win this game. Get to see the celebration. Bucks have control. We're going to get it back. And it looks like we have this one covered up by 21 with about 3 minutes left. I want to make sure I'm able to see the celebration, but I don't want to have to hop into the game with too much time left. And then look at my impatient self. See, boom, the game ends. I didn't get the celebration. Oof. But whatever. Doesn't matter too much because we are the NBA Finals champions. Took us 5 seasons to capture our first ring. Hopefully first of many. Wiseman, of course, Finals MVP. He is the team MVP as a whole. And then here's a look at the NBA Championship roster before we head into the offseason, where we could see some changes to the team. Hopefully not too big of changes, but I think we'll certainly see a few. So here we go, off-season time. And I'm kind of curious about LeBron. LeBron does retire, so he did get to play with Bronny. Well, they weren't teammates, but they did get to play against each other, which is really cool. I would have loved to have brought Bron to the Surf, but oh well, it is what it is. And I want to look at his career numbers because I've got to assume they're going to be nasty. And even this year, his last season, 26 points per game, he was doing his thing. Total of over 40,000 points, which is by far first all-time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is second. He's about 3,000 behind him. Not double-digit. 5 digits in rebounds, 5 digits in assists. What a career it was for LeBron James. Maybe the GOAT. Maybe. Chris Paul also retiring. J.J. Redick on our team. He gets a ring. Kyle Lowry, Paul Millsap, Brook Lopez, Darren Collison, who retired in real life. There's Aaron Baines. I didn't really like Baines on the Pistons, but he's kind of a meme now. Got Boban in there. Press F to pay respects for Boban's career. I would have loved to have brought him onto the Surf, but oh well. And then there's DJ Taylor P. We just took him in the second round last year. He was in the Brogdon trade. I guess things didn't really work out. And then we also got Greg Popovich retiring as well. So Pop hanging up the clipboard I expect him to retire within the next couple years in real life, especially if the Spurs not looking too hot. So LeBron and Chris Paul are going to make the Hall of Fame, of course. Paul gets his Clippers jersey number retired. LeBron gets his Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Los Angeles Lakers numbers up in the rafters, so I think those are well-deserved. So now, league beatings. Of course, something fun with this series is every year we had an obscure rule. This season, something that's sort of been talked about a little bit in real life, the playoff seedings will no longer be done by conference. It is just the 16 best teams in the league, so no more West and East. Well, I mean, I guess there is a West and East, but it's not 1 seed versus 8 seed. It's now 1 seed versus 16 seed. So here's a look at the draft lottery. We have the 6th pick from the Pelicans. Draft lottery, of course, finds a way to screw us. What's new? We also have our the Warriors pick, which is like 27 or something. So back in the first offseason, we signed everybody on the staff to 4-year contracts. Well, 4 years is up. Now we need to get ourselves a new staff. We are going to bring back Jacob Underwood as the head coach, Trent Peterson back as the assistant coach. And other than that, I think the staff is quite different. So our main focus is on the top of the draft. We are still using real-life draft classes. I don't know if these guys are real, though. I've never heard of these guys because this is the 2024 class, which is quite far into the future. I think it goes up to like 2027 or 2028. And after that, I don't think the people who make the draft classes really want to project how middle schoolers are going to go into the league, or heck, even elementary school kids by that point. So with our 6th overall pick, we go Travis Perry, a power forward from high school. He was the best player on the board. Pretty simple. And then pick 27 along with Victor Wembanyama, our late first rounder last year, is headed to the Mavericks for Christopher Lockett, who was the 12th pick in this year's draft, and then a future first-round selection as well. Lockett has more potential than Wembanyama, or however you say his name, and he also has more potential than anyone else on the board. So Perry and Lockett are now members of the San Diego Chill. I assume we'll just G-League them this year. That's probably the plan. That's what we've been doing with most of our rookies, other than like Wiseman and Melo, but that's because they were good enough to play year one. Other than that, pretty much all of our rookies have been G-Leagued. Some of the second-year guys have even been G-Leagued as well. So now we get to the fun part of the offseason, which is free agency, which is going to be rough because Kawhi, James Wiseman, and LaMelo Ball. So first, we're going to sign Lockett. We're going to sign Perry. Kawhi accepts his player option, which isn't a surprise, really. And then we're going to accept all the team options as well. Here's a look at the rest of the league. Paul George among the names who declined their player options: Larry Markkinen, Bam Adebayo, Lonzo Ball. I don't think we want to pair him up with LaMelo. Kyle Kuzma in there as well. So there are some interesting players, but problem is we don't have enough money. Kawhi's contract, Wiseman's going to get the big bucks, LaMelo's going to get the big bucks. So looking at qualifying offers, yes for Wiseman, yes for LaMelo, and we might as well give it to Akun Purcell because why not? So Wiseman is the top player in the free agency class. Also got guys like Anthony Edwards, Cole Spencer, LaMelo Ball, and some good unrestricted players. Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, Paul George, Lonzo Ball even. So what's the plan for free agency? Get the boys back. Wiseman offered a 3-year, $110 million contract from the Lakers. He's sticking around. And then LaMelo got offered a 3-year, $90 million deal. He's returning as well. And then Akun Purcell accepts his qualifying. So now into player progression. Kawhi has fallen to the 5th best player on the roster at an 89. This is the last year of his contract, though, so this could be it for Kawhi Leonard in a chill jersey. I'm not trying to pay him a max contract next offseason, considering he will be like 34 by then. But other than that, all the young guys are progressing, which is good. That's all we're really focused on at this point. Kawhi regressing is pretty inevitable. So now on to the training camps. Untapped potential will go to Bronny James. You want to get him as high as possible, maybe potentially at a 99. And then untapped potential for Sincere Harris. We haven't really talked about him today, mainly because he was in the G League. I think we're going to give him playing time this year, but the problem is we have too many good players on the bench. So that'll end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Next episode, episode 7, season 6, will come out, guess when? Tomorrow.